The rotation from gold to Bitcoin can happen anytime soon. And that's exactly what I'm breaking down for you in today's video. Because according to our weekly cycle strategy, the parabolic move of Bitcoin is about to happen. On top of that, we are going to check some key crypto charts, such as Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and ZCash. Crucial price setups and the most relevant market news you need to stay ahead. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and check out some of my recent uploads. Now let's get straight into the core of today's content. As I have been saying on my previous videos, we need liquidity to shift from gold into risky assets including Bitcoin. But here's the catch. At the beginning of 2023, we hit the cycle bottom of the yearly cycle between the rotation of Bitcoin and gold. Since the beginning of 2023, Bitcoin started to rally tremendously compared to gold. Due to political instability and the loss of trust in the US dollar, gold started to take over against Bitcoin, and it has been doing since then. And I know that every single day we see that gold is getting new all-time highs. But from the cycle's perspective, you can see that the top is quite close. And after that, we are about to see a reversal. And I believe that the top for gold will happen at around the first quarter of 2026, in which it will start to bounce back a little bit before continue to the cycle low in the yearly cycle. So I understand that overall the Bitcoin gold ratio is trending down. However, we might actually see some bounce like we had back here. And I'm going to explain exactly why. If you have a look at my previous videos, this is the overall state of the crypto market. We have been respecting the value trend line on the weekly cycle as a support level. And I said that we are going to have a pullback similar to what we had back in 2022. However, this time might actually be different. We don't know how further up the pullback it is going to be. You can see that the market cap already touched the support band on the weekly cycle. The DSS already shown signs of a crossover, meaning bullish. The RSI already showing signs of bottoming. And even though slowly, I believe that the crypto market cap will continue to rise steadily. Which now brings me to Bitcoin. We have right now 3 forecasts. The timing might vary a little bit. However, the blue one is already confirmed. So even if we reverse right now, it means that the blue forecast is validated. However, over the upcoming weeks, we are going to confirm if the orange and the red one are still to be confirmed. If we are going to have a left translated cycle, the top for Bitcoin price is going to happen before March 9. Nevertheless, we can see that the price is respecting tremendously the value trend line on the weekly cycle and crawling back up. And also, like I said on my previous videos, M2 global liquidity has finally broke out, reaching new all-time high, as well as the M2 growth and borrowing rate is recovering back up. That's exactly why the price is trending up on Bitcoin. If you have been following this channel long enough, you know that is not just a fact of M2 global liquidity going up, but also the M2 growth and borrowing rate recovering up. So from what I see right here, we have to keep this level up or keep increasing in order for the price to continue to go up. If we, however, back trend down and started towards zero, we are going to lose the price. When we zoom into the daily time frame, we can see that the value trend line on the daily cycle has been broken, which is extremely normal for a daily cycle window. I do expect, however, the price to rise back up quite aggressively sooner than later. And right now, our long position sits at exactly break even. So once we get a DSS crossover and the RSI start to get back up, we are going to have the daily cycle low confirmed. And finally, the price will rise back up. And we can expect some news or some economic events that are going to support Bitcoin to rise. Later today, we are going to have Trump's speech and, most importantly, Fed rate decisions, as well as FOMC statement. Later today is going to be quite interesting because the dual mandate of the Fed gives them no room to not cut rates. We see that truflation is going down like a rock, and at the same time, unemployment rate continues to rise. Based on the dual mandate of the Fed, this means rate cuts, and the rate cuts probability is based on the 10-year yield. Although the 10-year yield broke the level of 4.108%, it is already trending back down. So it seems it was a fake out. And based on the cycle perspective, that means that the top of the 10-year bond yield is already confirmed and the price will trend down from now on. However, this is still not shown on the rate cut probability from the Fed watch. So that's why I'm saying that later today is going to be quite interesting. Because although we do not see a rate cut probability right here, we have a lot of data such as unemployment rate going up and inflation going down, US 10-year bond yields trending down, which supports a rate cut. So let's see what's gonna happen. Liquidity is still quite balanced on the crypto market. We have some outflows and some inflows. In order for the price to continue to go up, we have to see more and more inflows. And it seems like the ETFs held quite well their cost basis right here. Based on that, we can expect the price to continue to go up on Bitcoin. Not only that, look at the liquidity cluster right here. In 1 year, we have much more liquidity accumulated to the upside compared to the downside. So although I do believe that we are on the bear market in 2026, I still think that price will go up before going down. And another confirmation of the bottom is that the fear and greed index has already turned to fear. Sounds like a retest, but let's see what's gonna happen. I believe the index is going to go back up. When it comes to the adoption, it seems like we are hitting a roadblock. So like I said in my videos, we have to continue to have more and more adoption, especially from government and big institutions like banks. And this kind of news right here, people think this is bullish, but I don't think so. Come on guys, think about it. If we have 24/7 US stocks, you have to understand that liquidity is not infinite. People will be able to trade stocks on weekends instead of Bitcoin. So this I think will be quite bad for Bitcoin and crypto market in general, because will make people rotate their liquidity from more risky assets such as crypto back into the traditional finance market. Talking about risky assets and crypto, Ethereum is already recovering the price back into the weekly cycle value trend line. If the price of Ethereum goes back up here and continue to go upside, this is quite bullish, especially if it crosses the 3,500 level. XRP on the other hand is still trending down. Heading towards a daily and a weekly cycle window, we can expect XRP to continue to go down. Until it recovers the 2.43 level, I still think XRP is bearish. So let's wait and see. Solana is on a similar behavior. It is trending within this window of 146.5 and 118.52. Already have the weekly cycle confirmed. We are now heading towards the daily cycle window. Until then, we cannot have a confirmation if Solana is bullish or bearish, but those are the levels that we are watching. ZCash on the other hand, it seems like the cycle is already over. It's just following our value trend line on the weekly cycle just perfectly. Our short position is still open and doing just fine. At the end of the daily and weekly cycle, I expect Zcash to retest this region right here, but continue to go down nevertheless. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.